All right. So we will talk about HELOCs and cash out. Not many people come in today because they think they know what refinance cash out. But whenever I present something, I present some information that you might not know. So I hope that it's gonna benefit you all in terms of helping your client. We are here. We are not just a salesman or a saleswoman. We are here as an advisor to our client. In this time of the year when everything is like confusing, not knowing what coming next, is when people need our help, our confidence, our knowledge. That's when we can come in and help our clients. So I hope that you will learn something today and you can go out and share with the people you care. I think the only way we can stand out from the ground is we care for our client, because everybody can sell, everybody can do loan, because it's just a product. We here to help others. We care for them, and that's how we can survive in any time. Doesn't matter what happened. If you are the person who care for others, then you always have your own business. Okay? So we're going to talk about HELOC. So what is HELOC? What does it stand for?
Home equity line of credit.
Yeah, home equity line of credit. And how does it work? Anyone want to share how does it work? Does it work like what?
It works like I guess you get the line of credit, but you can use it whenever you need it. It's just like an open end, right? No?
We can, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but make it easier. It's like a credit card, right? You have a line of credit, it's like there for you, and if you don't use it, you don't pay interest. And when you use it, you pay interest. So it's just like your credit card. You charge your card, and then you have to pay interest if you don't pay in full. Line of credit is a huge line. People apply for line of credit like 500,000 line of credit, and they leave it there. A lot of them, they use it as emergency fund. So whenever they need it, they can go back and get the money and use it. And then when they pull it out, of course, they have to pay monthly interest. If they don't need it, just leave it there. They never have to pay interest. Why do we talk about HELOC and cash out today? Because the last few weeks we've been talking about, okay, what is going to happen or not happening, we don't know. But we want to be prepared, and we want to talk to our client. What if something happening? We need to have 12 months of expenses on a side that we can use to pay for our monthly mortgage, monthly property tax, insurance, rental car payment, or your car loans, or your student loans, or a lot of things that we have to pay monthly. What if something happened and we don't have any income coming in every day? Or we might somebody might lucky, they might have some unemployment income, but it's like the minimum amount of income. How can they survive with that minimum income? And for most of us, we don't have any income. We don't earn any transaction. What if nobody buy? What if nobody sell? Just like, I'm just giving you an extreme situation, okay? That's not gonna happen, or it might happen, we don't know. But we want to prepare for the worst. And the money we have in our house is a lot because of the home value going up so much the last 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. It's like unbelievable.
May I have a quick question?
Yes.
Just cut my eye. So let's say your home is 500,000, and you pay the mortgage up to 200,000, and then but now your home is worth it like 700,000. So what is that like? is that in the,
Your equity is higher. So
not just the one.
Okay,
that you
so let
pay.
me repeat your question if I understand it correctly. But that's good question. So your home used to be 500,000, and you have only 200,000 mortgage in your home.
Right.
So 200,000 debt. So you still have 300,000 equity, right? Because the home value is 500, and your debt is
Your
200.
debt is 300.
300.
Yeah, you pay the principal and all that in
Okay.
200.
So your debt is 300,000 because your home value is 500. So you still have 200,000 home equity in your home right?
Right.
But now after 2 years, like now your home value going up to 700. So your equity is not 200 anymore, but it's 400, right? 400.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of confused by that because is equity is that like the money that you pay into or
Equity is the money that you take away your mortgage. you take away your mortgage, whatever left is your equity. But how much you can get out from it is not 100%. You cannot you cannot go to the bank say my home value is 700,000 and right now I have 300,000 mortgage. I want my 400,000 equity in my pocket now. That doesn't work. Okay, there's a rules for everything. So the maximum amount of equity you can get out is 80% of your home loan to value. If your home is 700,000, what is 80% of 700? Can you use your calculator? 80% of 700.
80% of 700.
560.
560. 560
Oh my
is 560,000 is the maximum loan amount you can get out of your house, but you have to minus the 300,000 you already own.
Okay, so that's
So
like
556, 560. So
260. You can get out 260.
you can get out 260 in your line of credit. So that means my home value now is 700,000 and I have a mortgage of 300,000. What is my maximum HELOC line that I can get? They will say 260,000 because the maximum we allow is 80% of your home to value, right? So you can go and talk to your client about it because nowadays if we talk about cash out, they will be scared. They say, wait, my rate now is really low. And if I do cash out, I will have to go up with if a lot of people right now they have rate of 2.75% for 30-year fixed. If they refinance cash out, the rate may be over 4%. This morning I run it, it's like 4.3 or something percent for refinance cash out. So people don't want to change the rate from 2.75 to 4.375. That makes sense, totally sense, right? So there is an option. You go and get your HELOC line open. You don't pay anything unless you use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next question asks, why do people need a HELOC line? We just answer it. They need it for emergency fund. And by the way, not many banks offer HELOC line right now. Wells Fargo still don't offer it. Citibank don't offer it. I don't know, Bank of America offer HELOC line right now, maybe not. But at Pacific White, right now, we offer HELOC line. By the way, when you do this loan, you earn zero money commission whatsoever for yourself. We doing this to give your client a service. So let's look into the rates. Okay, here are the rates. In order for you to learn how to read the table, we'll create a scenario, okay? So the first scenario, Alex, can you read me the first scenario? You can see it. You can see it, right? Right here.
Okay. Single family residence, owner occupied, 500,000 first loan. Home value is 1.3 million. The goal is $400,000 HELOC.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. So the first question is, would this person own a single family home and currently have a 500,000 mortgage in the home? Now this person wants to apply for a 400,000 HELOC line. What is the LTV right there? And we know the value of the home. Actually, we talk about the LTV is the 500 divided by 1.3, but we're talking about the combined loan to value. The combined loan to value is 500,000 plus 400,000 is 900,000 divided by 1.3. What is it, Alex?
Say that again.
So 900,000, the combined loan to value.
Okay.
Divide by 1.3 million. What is the CLTV?
70%.
70%. Thank you, Alex. So when we talk about HELOC line, we talk about combined loan to value. The maximum combined loan to value is 80%. When we only have one mortgage, we only talk about loan to value because only one mortgage. So the mortgage amount divided by the value, we have a loan to value. But when we talk about HELOC line, we talk about combined loan to value. And combined loan to value is the total of first mortgage and the HELOC line or the second mortgage. We add them up, we divide it by the value of the home. Am I clear? Anyone on the Zoom, any questions? No question, I can move on. So the combined loan to value in this case is 70%, and we read it. It's a single family home, owner occupied. Now we look at the table right next to it. It has so many yellow in there, okay? So the first thing you see is standalone home equity line of credit. Wait a minute, what's standalone home equity line of credit? Normally, when you purchase a home, and if you don't have enough down payment, you borrow some money for down payment as a HELOC line, right? For example, if I have 10% down payment, I borrow 10% HELOC line for my down payment, and then I borrow 80% my first mortgage. Then my 10% down payment from the HELOC line called the combined HELOC line. Combine the first and the second because I borrow both at the same time. I borrow HELOC line and I borrow the first loan together. It's called combined HELOC line. But in this case, this borrower had a mortgage of $500,000 a while ago. We don't know when they had it, but now the only thing they need is a HELOC line because they need only the HELOC line right now. We call it a stand-alone HELOC line. And normally, in the past, normally they don't offer a stand-alone HELOC line. But I'm so lucky, our lender now offers stand-alone HELOC line. So now how are we gonna look at interest rate? Now we look at the second line. We have rate and terms, and we have primary, we have second home, we have investment. So because this is a primary, we look into the second column. Did you see the primary column?
Yeah.
Did anybody on the Zoom see the primary column?
Yes, the first column, right, in yellow.
It right here in yellow, right? I move my cursor primary, and now I will look from here. Base start rate is 5%. Okay, this is start rates. That means we have to add something more onto it. So the start rate is 5% already. You see that? You see the 5% interest rate? And the index, because the 5% is actually equal to the index plus the margin, the index is 4%. Did you see my cursor moving, everybody on Zoom? Zoom people, say something.
Yeah, I see it.
Good, Jose, thank you. So the start rates equal to the index, which is 4%. It's added with the margin of 1%. Okay? So in this case, right now we're not done yet, but it's just explaining why it's 5%. But we're not going to stop right there. And we look at introduction and move down here. A 2.49% interest rate is introductory rate. What is the introductory rate? Okay, we'll look into it right now. I will look for the introductory rates. It's somewhere over here.
It is second page.
No, it's right here. Okay, I just want to explain it. I don't need to find it.
It's right
Introductory
there.
rates.
It's the order under other terms. Applies the first 6 months of account opening.
Yeah, it's right here. Introductory rate. It's right here. I moved the cursor right here. You guys see it? You guys under the Zoom? I moved my cursor introductory rate. Jose.
Yeah.
Okay, Jose, read me this one right here. The whole sentence, the whole thing.
Sure. Introductory rate. Introductory rate applies to the first 6 months of account opening. No initial draw required and available for all draws during the introductory period.
Thank you, Jose. which means if the person pull out the money right after we're done with the HELOC line for them, they pull out 400,000, assuming they qualify for 400,000. The first 6 months they only pay interest based on 2.49% interest rate, not 5%. It's called introductory rates. It's giving the client a break on the first 6 months. Is that awesome? This is unbelievable. Okay, if they don't use it, if they didn't draw any money, that's fine. No need to draw required available. Okay, they have a period of introductory period. It's not like forever. Like they give you the first 6 months. If you draw within the first 6 months, then you have that introductory rate. But like when you pass that 6 months, you don't have that introductory rates. Okay. So now we're explaining the introductory rate. Now we go to floor rate and live cap. What does it mean at 3.49% and 18%? Oops, what I'm doing? Okay. So because HELOC line, the interest rate is not fixed. It is adjustable. And because it is adjustable, it can go up, it can go down, and the lowest it can go down in this case is 3.49%, the lowest. But the highest it can go up is what number?
18%.
18%, right?
Where is that at?
Right there on top.
It's
on
right
the
here.
first column, yellow.
Anybody see this?
Yeah, floor rate.
I'm moving the cursor around it.
Okay.
Floor rate is 3.49 and the live
credit
cap is
card.
18%.
So it's
This is the worst case scenario.
Even,
It's
even if you
adjustable.
lock it in, it's not.
Zoom
fixed.
before
Yeah.
you see
No,
what I'm
it's
talking
just-
about, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I see somebody type a chat here. Is there anything in there?
But when we
Yeah, if you have happy Tuesday, everyone. That's awesome. Thank you, Kifo. Yeah, I want people
But it's
to
a cash out
communicate through chat,
But this one is nothing.
or you can unmute
Okay.
yourself and ask me
yeah,
questions.
It's a line.
Yeah.
So
All
that's-
right.
it's
So
the
now
right-
I'm not done reading the table. I'm gonna go down. Okay. Margin adjustment. It said right there, HCLTV, rated than 75%, lower than 80%. So, okay, so in this case, I don't think we can go up to 80%. It can go up to only, yeah, we can go up to 8%, not more than 80%, right? Okay, not more than 80%. I think that line explained it, right, Leon?
Which one?
The right here it said the loan amount has to be below 80%,
Mm-hmm.
below or equal. It cannot be
Yeah.
over. Okay,
Maximum 80%.
maximum 80%. All right, moving to the next line. If the property is 2 to 4 units, the rate gonna be a quarter more. But if the property is a 2 units, the rate now is 5.25. But luckily, in this scenario, it's a single family, so we don't get hit by a quarter there, right? If it's a condo, we're gonna get hit a quarter. If it's non-warrantable condo, we're gonna get hit a half a point. So that to the rate, because that's the margin, because the rate is a total of margin and index. Okay, so these are the add-on to the interest rate if the scenario fall into any of that in there. Okay, if the borrower have a foreclosure less than 7 years, they got hit by a half a percent, right? If the loan, wait a minute.
First loan.
If the first loan is more than 1.25 million, they got hit again by a quarter.
A quarter.
So, but in this case, we make it simple enough that we don't have to be hit it with any of that number. So right now, in this case, going through all that number, I see that the rate for our clients still 5%.
Correct.
Is that awesome, right? Okay, now we move on to the next in the middle, right? In the middle, right here. If the person have a short sale between 2 to 4 years, they also get hit by half of the percent. Short sale, if it's over 4 years, less than 7 years, also got hit by a quarter. If somebody have a bankruptcy that more than 4 years, less than 7 years, also get hit by a half of a point. Alternative income, if somebody cannot provide W-2 tax return, but they use some kind of alternative income proof, then they get hit again. So the rates can not it can be different, can be higher, depend on which one our client in that two in the middle table our client status fall into, right?
Yeah.
And then we move into here. Okay, asset depletion. What is asset depletion? Anyone in this room, have you heard of this term before? If you have a lot of money, it can be your income. It's called asset depletion. How do we calculate asset depletion? I will show you in the next page, but right now it's called alternative income. That's why you got hit by alternative income a quarter in the middle column. So if somebody cannot prove their income through tax return W-2 pay stuff, they can use the money they have in their bank account as their income. Okay? So when you provide client with HELOC line, knowing that you give them an extra service, that's it. All right? So HELOC line, 10-year draw period, then 20-year prepayment period. But what does it mean? It means the first 10 years, the client can withdraw the money and spend it and pay back and withdraw and pay back, withdraw and pay back. But after 10 years, they cannot withdraw no more. That the last 10 year is the year that they have to pay. They don't they can
20 years.
20-year prepayment. Oh, they have 20 years to prepay.
It's a total 30 years.
So they have a total of 30 years, but the first 10 years they can redraw, draw and redraw, but the last 20 years they can only pay back. They cannot draw any money out of it. Okay? Okay? So application fee, right now the promotion the lender provide is they waive application fee to the borrower. They waive annual fee to the borrower. They waive setup charge to the borrower. Okay, if somebody open a HELOC line and then within the first 3 years they close it, they have to pay the lender $500. Only $500 to close a HELOC line.
What do you mean by close? Like, do they
Like-
take the money out and then pay it all? No.
Okay, good question. What does it mean by closing? A lot of people, they open a HELOC line, they never even use it, and then they decided to close it. And when they close it, within the first 3 years, they have to pay $500 penalty to the client, the lender. But if they pull out the money and then they have to make payment, they're not going to close it, right? If they pay it all off, they had nothing in it, they can close it. And they close it within 3 years,
Close
they have
and
to
when
pay.
the balance is zero.
Or even if it's before the 3 years, they will not have to pay.
If they wait after 3 years, they close it, they don't have to pay anything. Good questions. Okay.
You got an SFR, you got a second home, 500K the first loan. The home value is 1.3 million, and the goal is 400K home equity line of credit.
Thank you, Jose. So in the second scenario, it's so similar to the first one, but the only thing is the second home. The first one is the owner occupier, right? Now the second home. So second home, you're gonna go back to the top of the table. You look for second home right here. I'm moving the cursor around second home, and you see the second home rate is higher. The start rate is 5.25%. It's a quarter higher than the primary home, right? And again, because the start rate equal to index plus margin, and the index is always the same. It's 4%. The margin in this case is what is the number? The margin right here, 1.25%. That's why we have a start rate at 5.25%. And the introductory rate is the same, 2.49%, right? The introductory rates and the floor rate and the life cap is exactly the same because the second home is so similar to the primary resident home, but the rate is only a quarter higher. I'm not gonna go through the whole table again because assuming they don't get hit by any of that, okay? And then the third scenario, can you read the third scenario for me, Vivian?
The single family resident, 500.
Non-owner occupied.
Non-owner occupied. I see. 500,000, and then the first loan, home value is 1.3 mil, and then the goal is 400 HELOC.
Okay, thank you. So in the third scenario, it looks similar to the first and the second, but the only difference is what?
Rate.
No, the non-owner occupied, right? The first scenario
Non-owner
is primary home, second one is second home, and the third one is non-owner occupied. And now we have to look into the last column of the table to find the interest rate for the non-owner occupied. So we look around investment column. Under investment column, look at the interest rate. What is the interest rate? People on the Zoom, shout it out. What is the interest rate for investment? The start rates for the interest for the investment property. Anyone? If nobody volunteers,
7.5.
7.5%. It's a lot higher. It's 2.5 point higher, right? Because right now it's investment. And look at this. And again, the start rate equal to what? Index plus margin. And the index in this case, what is it?
4. Up.
Index is 4%. And what is the margin in this case?
3.5.
3.5%. That's why the start rate is 7.5%.
Yeah.
So now you have an idea if your client want a HELOC line, if it from the investment property, their start rate gonna be 7.5%. But remember, the introductory rate for that is 3.99% right here. So the first 6 months is they only paid interest on 3.99%, not 7.5%. Any questions?
Any question?
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it might sound funny. So what is the difference between the second home and the non-owner occupied? I mean, if it's your second home.
Second home meaning you don't rent it out. You don't earn any income from your second home. It's a home where you go there on your leisure time. Like you have a home in Lake Tahoe, right? And on the weekend you go there to enjoy your time.
Does
That's
it
called
have
second
to
home.
be like some kind of distance when you say it's your
No, it had to be like a vacation area.
Okay.
And you don't make any income out of it. You completely use it for your own pleasure or your family time there. It's called second home. Okay?
Sometimes it's because the job purposes. For example, we live here, but we have a job in San Francisco,
Right.
and you have a house in San Francisco for you when you stay there during the weekdays to commute to work.
Okay,
Then
that's
it can
your
be a
second
second home.
home. Okay.
It doesn't
It
have
had to
to
be a
vacation.
reason. It's not on. In the past, it say, oh, if your second home and your first home is 100 miles away, then it's okay. But that's not the case no more.
Okay.
Okay, it had to be the right reason to get to that. So what we see now, we have an idea of how the HELOC loan work. But remember, HELOC loan is a full doc loan. What if your client need money set on aside for the next 12 months or the next 6 months, and they not qualify for HELOC loan? Is that the end of the world? Because they not qualified. Because lender look into their credit score, look into their income document, and if they not qualify and if they not rich enough, they don't have $1 million in their bank account, what can they do? By the way, how are we calculate the depletion income? I'm gonna show you how. It's pretty easy. So this is how you calculate the depletion income, okay? Example, somebody give us the bank account and showing $1 million in their bank account. We're gonna go online, use a mortgage calculator. We plug in the number. $1 million is our loan amount. Okay, listen, this is how you calculate it. $1 million is your loan amount in the mortgage calculator, and instead of 36 years or something, or 52 or whatever, you put term year is 12 years. 12 years. 12 years and 12-month payment. You change it in the mortgage calculator. And the interest rate that you put in that calculator is the 2.912%. That is the prime rate. So whatever the prime rate 2.925 is the prime rate of May 18. I don't even know the prime rate today. But the prime rate 2.912, if you plug all that number in, you see I have it right here. I put in the loan amount of $1 million and my prime rate 2.9. The loan period in years is 12 years only, and the 12-month payment, and the monthly so the monthly payment is $8,226, and that is the monthly income that I want to use in the loan application for my client. If somebody have $1 million, they don't have any other income, they have $1 million in their bank account. With the $1 million, I can consider they have $8,200 income for the application. This is how we calculate income for them using their own money. Okay? So, what if somebody doesn't have $1 million? What if somebody doesn't have any saving money? What if somebody don't qualify for any mortgage to refinance cash out, and they desperately need money to set aside for whatever hit next? What do we do? How are you going to offer them something that will help them to make sure they're going to keep their house if whatever happened? You answer me, everyone. Do you have any tool? You have anything to do with for them? They can't even get a cash out refinance right now because they don't have income. They don't even can't even qualify for a HELOC loan. What can you do for them?
Sell the house.
They don't want to sell the house. The whole purpose,
It's to keep.
the whole purpose here is to keep their house, because
the
we
house.
know the only thing that will make them feel rich and comfortable is the home, because we know no matter what happened, no matter even we encounter the depression, but after that their home go up 100%. Our goal is to keep the house for our client. How are we going to keep the house for them? We have so many solutions, we just don't remember to use it.
Pacific Wide.
They need to do refinance cash out.
That's what
Oh,
we're talking
but
about.
if they don't, because
Yeah.
you
They don't
go
have
to the
income.
full docs, you know, and everything. What if they don't, you know,
good
over
credit.
there? Then what make it works over here?
Okay. What does it mean to refinance cash out? Refinance cash out, pull some money out and put it in your pocket and keep it, save it. Okay, how are we gonna do it? You have the solution. All your questions will be answered. Okay, what is the maximum loan amount for cash out refinance? When do people want to cash out? Why do people want to cash out? Remember, you have to know their goal. People don't just cash out because they want to have money in the bank to show off. No, they cash out for one reason, to keep their house. So we have the solution. How do we do that? We have a conventional loan, people are not qualified. And they say, oh, the rate is too high. I'm not qualified for it, and also the rate is too high. My rate right now is 2.75%. Wait a minute. If you don't want to refinance cash out, you can qualify for a HELOC line. You're willing to lose your home. Do you rather to pay 4.375% interest rate, or you want to lose your home? Ask them that question. You need to be facing your client directly. Ask them the right question. Oh, I don't want to pay interest rate. Oh yeah, so what if you pay interest rate? But if you can keep your house, are you willing to do so? A lot of time you have to ask people the hard questions. Like when people want to suicide, you don't ask them how they're doing. You say, are you attempting to kill yourself? That's the question you ask. Because that's the only time you can help them. If they say yes, if you say, are you okay? They say, I am fine. When people are about to kill themselves, you ask them the very hard question that you don't want to ask, but you have to ask that question. When people are about to lose their house, if they don't have money and if something happened, you have to ask them the question, do you want to lose your house, or you want to pay the interest rate of 4.375? If you have enough money to spend for the next 12 months, whatever happened, you will keep your house. I guarantee you, if you can do that, you can help the client. If you feel like, oh, do not cash out because the market gonna go down, your house is gonna crash. So what? As long as you keep your house, the market can go down, your house can go down. That's good. You already get your money out of it, because your money in the house doing nothing, you lose your house. Right now you have 500,000 equity in your house. You don't get it out. By the time the market crashes, you lose your house because you don't get any money out of it. What if the market crashes? You have money to save it. Doesn't matter, the house go down at that bottom. That's fine. You don't care because you don't want to sell your house when it's bottom. Who want to sell your house when it's go bottom? We only want to sell your house when it's highest. Mm-hmm. Why you plan to sell your house when it's at bottom instead of keeping it? Who would like to do that? How many people? I met so many people who lost so many homes during the 2008. Now they said, I wish I keep my house. They didn't keep any because they see it going down bottom, they sell it. Is that crazy? It's completely insane. But now if we are planning ahead of time, we have money to keep to save our house, do it. Okay, you take out 500,000 and you know you're gonna be surviving through the storm, do it. Okay, if they qualify refinance cash out, do refinance cash out. For high balance loan 5.125, you have to be realistic. Okay, if you have a high balance loans, rate is over 5%. Are you willing to pay for it? I know your rate now is 2.75%. Does it matter? It doesn't matter. As long as you can keep your home. Okay, how about if you're not qualified for conventional loan, you're not qualified for anything, how about do stated income loan? Your rate will be maybe 1 or 6%. How about you do investor loan? Rate may be 6.5%. How about you do no doc loan? Rate may be 7%. But as long as you can keep your house to go through the storm, are you willing to do so? That is the hard question you want to ask your client, and that's how you're going to help your client. We are not here to sell. We are here to help people. With that mentality, you have no fear because you are in here to help them. And when you are here to help them, what happened? You can say the truth to help them to go through the storm. I don't care if my rate is 7.5%, knowing I am going to keep my house. I will go cash out. I don't. Unless you don't know what to say, but when you know, you have to help them. You don't want to see massive home for sale. You want this time around better than last time. You don't want everybody go sell their home. No, that's painful. You want people to be able to keep their home. And the only time to do that now is now. It's time to tell your client what to do. You don't want to wait until the market already crashed and say, let's go refinance cash out. Good luck. First of all, the home price not there no more. Second, the investor don't want to let you borrow no doc loan, no stated income loan, no investor loan, no nothing at that time. The only thing available is conventional, and the guideline is harder. Right now, conventional loan is 49 or 50% debt to income ratio, but the moment the market crash, the DTI go down to 45% or 41% or 43%. It's gonna be harder to get money. Why? Why is it harder to get money when the market crash? Because investors take away the money, they don't want to invest anymore. People got shaky. People have to protect themselves. But investors are who? They are also people who don't want to lose money. Nobody want to lose money. Now is the time to get money easy. You don't do it. You wait until you cannot get money and you do it. Too late. Remember the other day, Sergio told us a story, right? Mm-hmm. His client asked him to refinance cash out for $10,000 to pay off some little thing, and he said, "Why don't you cash out more money and save it as a saving?" The client keeps saying no, and then 2008 hit. He listed his home for sale because he cannot afford to pay his mortgage. And Sergio came over and said, "You didn't listen to me. I advised you to cash out to keep the money for your home, but you didn't listen to me." You don't want that to happen again. Now is the time to go out and help your client. Do either HELOC. If they qualify, awesome. I'm so happy I can do HELOC for you, even though I earn nothing, but this is my service. I want you to keep your home. And if they not qualify for HELOC, I have a lot of other loans. I want you to keep your home. That is my main goal. I'm going to go through the storm with you, but you got to listen to me. This is what I can do for you. Don't be afraid to deal with the problem. The only thing we can get through some hard thing is to face with it in advance. You cannot avoid it or hide it. It's not going to work. So, any question regarding to all the loan program?
What is a PUD?
Plan unit development.
It's a townhouse. PUD means townhouse.
Condos, townhouse.
So what's
Planned unit development.
They're
New development.
the same. It's just ownership.
Anyone on Zoom have any
Just the
questions?
You own.
Are you good to
the
go?
space on the
You
condo.
good to go out and
And
talk to your
how much you
client,
own the
help
building
them?
and the land.
Oh,
No question, right? Any questions?
Well, actually, what we just covered are just like options for people who are struggling.
Exactly.
Anybody who lost their job or maybe losing their job. I mean, these are the options that they may not know, and there's a lot that, just like you said. So these are options available, but not they don't know. And it's our job to let them know that there are options. Don't hang yourself. You know, we have options. I mean, people do that.
I remember in 2008, 2009, 2010, lots of people kill themselves because they lose everything.
Yeah.
Do you remember that time? I don't forget. Like an engineer killing himself because he lose everything. He lose his stock, he lose his home. It's really sad. I don't want that to happen again. We can always learn from the past. Don't let the past happen again. If we don't know anything, yes. But if we do, don't let it happen again. We know the history will come. Whatever comes, we ready for it.
So what if you kind of advise your client? It's like, oh, you know what? My job is, okay, this and that. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? They don't have any reserve money, but it's just like my job.
That's fine.
So.
That's fine. But I think I think you can only help the people who need help. You cannot help people who feel like they are so confident. They think they have a job forever. They never lose their job. That's fine.
Actually, what I can share here is that not a lot of people will open up to you because everything is personal, right? But through conversation and questions and all that, it'll show up. The moment you hear that they're struggling and they open to you, hey, you know what? There's options. Because if you don't know that, we don't know what to tell them.
My opinion is you go to Publix. When you keep talking in the Publix, maybe one person, they don't feel they need it now, but they will need it tomorrow or a month later. But as long as you stay in the Publix, keep talking, and they know who they need to ask for, they look for when they need it.
Well, I was reading an article earlier. Again, I have a coach, which is Mike Ferry, right? I always go back to them, as far as getting knowledge. Our success depends on how much conversation we have every day. Real estate conversation, okay? I mean, if we hide in our office or we hide in our home and we don't talk to anybody about real estate, then nothing's gonna happen. So it's the amount of conversation we make every day.
I think because on the YouTube channel, on the news, they keep talking about recession and stuff like that. So I think when you're talk to your client, what you can do is say, hey, if something happening, are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? They might say, what do you mean? What do you mean by ready for it? I said, okay, the worst scenario might come, that you have no income. How can you keep your home? That's your questions. I'm concerned. I want to make sure you keep your home. Doesn't matter what happened. We don't know what happened, but what if it happens? We really don't know what happened, but what if it's happened? How are you gonna keep your home? So you can start talking about. You need to think about your 12-month expenses on the side. Do you have all people? Some people have the money. Some people say, "Oh, I do have." Make sure you have your money available when it happens. So you can just talk to them if they already have the money. Just tell them, okay, just set it aside. Make sure you do your calculation. List out all the expense that you have to spend every month, and then make sure you have 12 months set on aside. But if somebody say, "Oh my God, are you kidding me? I don't have any saving. I don't have any saving at all. Every month I spend all my earning," and that's where you come in and say, "Wait a minute, that's too dangerous." If you say so, then you need to come up with some saving so that you can take care of yourself during the storm. And they say, how are we going to do that? Because I just have one job. I don't have any other income. I can't even, then that way you talk about HELOC line. Say, why don't you go and do your HELOC line? Open a HELOC line, get an emergency fund. And people might say, okay, they go and do it, and you follow up. If they cannot make a HELOC line, and now it's time to make them to do refinance cash out. But if they say right away, my income not qualified for any mortgage because I tried in the past, then that's where you come in and say, oh my God, don't worry. I have all kind of loan program. I don't need your income. You want me to help you? That's where you come in to help. But you have to start the conversation, like Alex said. You have to be out there talking to people, see who need what. If somebody they already have money, just ask them to save that money on the side. To just remind people, to us, I think we're more like a financial advisor, even though we are not, but we can help our client. So be the person who there, care for them, help them, ask them questions, see what you can do for them. That's the only way you can keep a good relationship with your client, and that's how they're gonna trust you. They trust you, you become their superhero. If it happened, and if because of you they have the torment expenses, they will say, "Oh my God, thank Vivian, you came the right time. Thanks to you, we were able to keep our home." Do you like that feeling when people appreciate you so much that if without you they lose everything? Is that feeling very much better than let people struggle with their life who care about what happened to them? I think in our life, money is not the only thing that we need. We need people to feel like we are here for them and we are important. Because we are all, one of the 6 human needs is significant, right?
Okay. Good. Any
Okay,
question?
everybody, thank you. If you
How
have any
about them?
question,
How about them?
any question? Jose,
From the
Kim?
Zoom. The Zoom.
Anyone, you have any question? And the chat box, can you look into the chat box? Any
There's
question?
2 there.
Can we do modify the loan?
No loan doc cash out due to high equity. See, no loan doc, no cash out. Okay, if they have a high equity already, I suggest them to sell their house. Because right now if you cannot do anything knowing you're gonna lose your home, and now the time to sell your home. Sell it before it goes lower, right? Sell it. We can do a lot of things. If right now they cannot cash out because they max out everything already. Now their home is like about upside down. If the market crash, they upside down.
Yeah.
Then sell their home before the market crash. It's time to get out.
Yeah.
So you see, you have solution for every situation, but in order to do that, you have to talk to them and you have to understand the situation. If you don't know because you don't talk to them, and then a year later you call them, they lose everything. Whatever. Oh my God, that would be terrible.
Yes, it means do the no doc loans if they do not have income. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, if you do, if somebody doesn't have income, we do no doc, we do stated, we do investor. We have all kind of loan program here. But HELOC line have to be full docs. There is no option for HELOC line except full doc loans. They have to qualify with income. And HELOC loan is available through Pacific Y. And again, when you bring in a HELOC line, you earn no money because even Pacific Y lose money for doing the loans. Okay? So you remember, you are in it to help your client go through the hard time. That's it. Because from Pacific Y, we cannot do much, but listen, we cannot save the entire world. If you can, each of us can save one family. Does it count? If you can go out and save one family, if 50 of us, 100 of us save 100 family, will that make you feel better than doing nothing?
No, 100 families will have 1,000 families because they have children. Each family have 5 children.
Yeah, Leon is right. That's why a lot of time people, they underestimate themselves. They say, "Oh, never talk about impact the world. I'm a one individual. I'm so small. I cannot do much." You forget. If you can help one person, that one person can go help other person. So we can impact the entire world by one action. If you go out and help one person, one family, that one family can go talk to the other family, then it's like a domino effect. You will see how awesome it is. So we here, Pacific Y, we don't do what others do. They only do things for money. We do things because we care. We want to change the world. We don't want to see what happened in 2008, 2010, and 2009 no more. We want to see people keeping their home so that people can become richer by the time that hard time passes. You want to go there and talk like that to other people. You say, "I'm here to change." What happened in 2008, 2009, 2010, I never forget. Leon and I, we went to it's a condo, a place, and at the moment we drive in, on each side of the complex, there are more than 10 for sale signs. Like everybody about to, they just want to get out. They want to.
Recently?
No,
In 2008,
no, long
2009,
time
2010.
ago, 12 years
I
ago.
was like, recently?
And the house value go down so terrible. People just want to run away from it. Because they did not know what coming to them and they did not know how to prepare for it. But now we learn. We don't want it to happen again. We don't want people, they can't even keep their condo, their townhouse. We don't want that to happen again. Again, if somebody cannot keep the home, if they hit the hard time, sell right away. So you go talk to your client. If you are a listing agent, you can help them at the beginning with the HELOC line or cash out. The last thing you do is sell the home, okay? The last thing you do. I know you'd like to sell the home, you like to list the home because it's easy. But the last thing you do is selling the home. You don't want to sell the home. That's the last thing in your list, okay? It's not because I'm doing refinance, I'm doing loan, I'm telling you that, no. We want people to keep their home. Do you want to keep your home? I want to keep mine.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose it. I want to have a home. So everybody does.